Welcome back to Shonen Pulse, episode 33. This time, we talk about manga here on this podcast, 9 of them to be exact, but this week some of them are on break, so we only covering about 4. We normally talk about Chainsaw Man, Centuria, Dandadan, Gachiakuta or Gachiakuta, Shangri-La Frontier, Ranger Reject, Otter of the Flame or Odor of the Flame, whatever you want to say, Ichi the Witch, and Kagurabachi. Today, only 4 of those remain. Like I said, because everything's on break and there's some delays and stuff like that, all that good stuff. Hopefully, you stick around to the end, listen to the comments review section because we be reading y'all comments and talking about them, and y'all be trying to flame us. We be back on y'all sometimes when it's necessary, but yeah, ain't gonna waste too much of your time, man. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things. If you're good people, good people do those things. If you're a good person, you also listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl. If you don't, then not a good person. But anyway, jumping into Centuria. It's I skipped over our names, but you know who it is, baby. It's Big Us. But yeah, Centuria chapter 62. The flames
big
of sin.
us.
The flames of sin, baby. We here, man. What you thinking, Traffy? Let's go.
Oh man, I love this chapter. It expands on the lore a bit more and answers a few questions that we had along the way of reading through Centuria, specifically in regards to these witches. Um, so apparently they're like hundreds of years old. That's cool. How? Who knows? Whatever. But they were strong enough to basically beat, I guess, the king. I guess that's who it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I think that's what they're talking
Which,
about. The Supreme Lord is looking like, bro.
Yeah,
if
definitely.
that's the case, isn't this the first time we've seen his face?
I
No,
was
we,
just
we
thinking,
saw, no, he came out, his face got unshrouded because there was a magic spell over his face that was
yeah,
darkening it. It wasn't just a shadow that was like done
Yeah.
artistically or whatever. It was a nigga's like whole spell to keep his face covered, and he undid it in the chapter that showed that Lucas, or I'm sorry, oh yeah, Lucas is his name. I
yeah,
always mix up Lucas and Julian. Anyway, it showed that Lucas was a Black Knight or whatever in that chapter is when we saw the king's face.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. I remember we had a conversation about, like, it was funny that the nigga's entire, like, so far all we know is his power is just shielding the king's face.
From the reader.
Yeah,
Oh shit. But no, and
yeah,
then we
okay,
found out that he had that crazy ass scar on his face, and we were talking about the possibility that that spell was meant so that, like, his subjects didn't have to see that the king had ever like taken damage or has like a wound, a permanent wound or whatever, because that could like diminish the value of the king's position in the eyes of everyone underneath him or something like that. It was a really cool conversation.
yeah.
But
I flip back to
Yeah.
it. It's chapter 46 if you want to see the king's face, but it was heavily scarred up. From this, it's the same, like, kind of scar marks as the blood that you can see on his face in this image.
yeah. And what I really like about this chapter is that it's like, okay, so how many witches are here? One, two, three, four, five, six. There's 6 witches in this flashback showing them fighting the king. So it took 6 of them to bring the Supreme Lord, to the brink of death. There's only 2 here against Atlas. So Elstree being stressed out that Altus has to fight against the same force that defeated the king as a brand new entity, basically, that, and is also kind of weakened from the prior battle and how much energy he's kind of expended in the fight up until this point. It's like, bro, this doesn't make any sense for him to even try to fight these witches when these are the ones that beat the king. First of all, it took 6 of them. There's only 2 of them here. Altus is still broken, even though he's just like a shell of his former self back when he was Arcos. But it's just like cool on like a scaling level that he's able to kind of like hold his own to a certain degree against 2 of these witches, where if it was all 6 and he was this wounded and he had used this much energy, it would be like no shot. But I think this is going to do a lot for Altus's character if he does make it
Atlas.
out. Is it Atlas or Altus?
Yeah, Atlas.
Is it?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was Altus.
I think it's Altus.
AL. Wait, let's see.
Yeah, it's ALTUS. It's
Where you see
time
that?
to call Altus. Page
I feel like that's a change. Then where is that?
6.
I remember,
Altus.
yeah, I
Okay.
remember thinking that the spelling was like the spelling had confused me when his character was first kind of given to us when it was resurrected by Helm or whatever, because I was like, oh, it's Atlas. Oh wait, but it's not Atlas. It's, yeah, I remember it being a different spelling. You want to say Atlas though.
Hold up. I'm gonna be flipping through because
Yeah,
I could
do
have
it.
swore that
Yeah, do
is
it.
no, that's crazy. I gotta find it now. But yeah, just keep yapping.
Yeah, so before I was
So
so rudely interrupted,
Might be, maybe.
no, I'm just but no, I just think it's a cool situation that that Altus is up against like two of them and is seemingly going to kind of like do some shit here. Even though Elstree was like, "What do you mean? This is irrational. He shouldn't even be trying to. We need to pull him back. Like these are the same motherfuckers that got the king type shit." But it's like not that same force. You know what I mean?
yeah, I
Yeah.
like the I guess explanation for their powers. So like the nun chick, the fact that it flames of sins while she's dressed up as a nun, and it brings into question how the resurrection works though, because the flames burn hotter the deeper the sins of my foe, if they committed murder, so on and so forth. And she notes that he's pure, as free of sin as a newborn babe.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's while it is a revival, it's not necessarily. It's like she's taking something new and putting it into a body
Right.
that gives them a blank slate, because it's like it's not a soul from someone else, and it's not the soul of the person who was originally in that body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is like a new like consciousness, effectively. Like it's like it's an entirely new like
Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
newborn.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't
Exactly.
have any sins.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I feel like they changed this, but yeah, I just seen Altus in here twice. I'm like
The
five,
Mandela
six
effect.
chapters behind. Yeah, something's going on. That's crazy. I could have swore I've definitely been saying Atlas this whole time, but Altus, okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Hmm.
Fuck it, baby. Um,
But yeah, it is
but yeah,
cool
I
that
like.
like if this was Arcos or Akros. Oh no, now I don't.
Oh, don't do this.
I
Acros,
think it's Akros, bro.
bruh. Hell no.
No, it's Arcos.
Anyway. But like if this was Arcos, like these flames would be eating his ass up because that motherfucker was sinning like a motherfucker. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like this is a new consciousness in this body. So he has no sins. And then she like immediately was like, is Helm's power behind this? So does this nun character like know what Helm can do? Why would she go straight to Helm in her assumption here unless she knew that she was like a necromancer?
She probably knows because they
Yeah.
do work with the king.
Oh, true.
Yeah, they all, I guess, know of each other, but they probably kind of like in a lot of manga where like we all work of the same faction, but like our powers aren't completely
Wait a minute.
known to
These
each other.
witches, these witches work with the same king that they tried to defeat however long ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think like they drove him to the brink of death, but like they couldn't beat him, and I'm guessing he kind of like got them because remember they were in his like war room meeting or whatever. They were like at his table and shit. Like at
Oh
least
I mean,
at
shit.
least the little kid one and the fire breathing one. So like maybe he offered them something, or maybe there's something weird going on where he's just like stick around and maybe you get to kill me one day, but you couldn't do it that day because the brink of death. There could have been something like just preventing. Like maybe he just has an absolute like death defying ability. Like no matter what you do to him, like he just can't die. Even if you beat the absolute shit out of him, he just won't die. And he's chasing something that will kill him, and that's why he's like cool with Diana coming and like Elstree
Yeah.
doesn't want anything, to happen. Like he just has like an ability that just stops death. Like Andy from Undead Unluck. Like
Of
yeah, he
course,
wants to
yeah.
die. He just can't.
It's possible that their
you
fight
know,
like came to like a stalemate too, though, and because like neither side could finish the job one way or another, there were like certain conditions or whatever, a negotiation that was had where it's like you fuck with me in this way, I'll stop doing the thing that made y'all want to defeat me in the first place. Maybe like I'll let y'all cook over here to do this, but you leave me alone over there, and it's like a mutually beneficial relationship now after that fight got brought to a stalemate or whatever.
I agree with Yato's theory there
Yeah.
because it makes sense why when the witches first showed up and helped Diana, they like introduced themselves and they said something along the lines of working together with her. So if that's the case, they
You
made the yeah, my bad.
there?
The king may be looking for a way to die.
Yeah, because like I can see either way. Like I could kind of see stalemate, but like not because I mean he looks fucked and they look clean. Like none of
Yeah,
them are
true.
like none of them look like they're forced to the end unless he has like a fucking nuke and it's like if you take one more step, I'll blow this whole motherfucker to smithereens and none of you get what you want type shit. They're like, all right, fucking cool it, guy. Take
Yeah,
your thumb off the fucking switch, bro.
yeah.
But
Okay,
I'm,
yeah. So, chapter 60, it says the deity of the night. Oh, yes, that's right. Lady Diana. This is the witch talking to Diana. Happy birthday. Please accept this precious gift. There's a letter inside explaining the intricacies of its use. So, it's like they're helping Diana specifically.
yeah.
Oh,
So
sure.
like obviously they don't fuck with the king, and the king knows that like it's possible that Diana will eventually like come to him and like I'm pretty sure the prophecy was like told to him like Elstree told him about the prophecy so he's cool with it. So it seems like everybody is like down to murder the king but Elstree, and Elstree just wants to like save him, I guess, because he saved her life and he's kind of like Jesus to her. And so she's
Yeah.
like, no, don't. But in this case, Jesus is like, bro, let me die.
Yeah.
The the one thing that I am curious about, what is the power of this hair witch? Like at first I thought, it was just her hair, like she's wrapping her body. And it could be her hair in general, because like the oil she used, maybe it's like hair oil or
Yeah.
something. I don't know what her powers are.
She just got a whole lot of that Jerry curl juice on there.
Yeah, she got soul glow dripping from her shit, which is highly flammable.
Yeah. Yeah, at
uh,
first I was definitely confused at first. Like, here's a gift, a lock of my hair, and I'm just like thinking, like, fucking Altus. I'll never fucking holy fuck. Altus is just like, huh? What is this? This black liquid is fucking hair. It's like, oh shit, fucking stinks. Oil, boom. Like, just I was just trying to like imagine myself in a situation like that where it's like, okay, like something's touching me. Do I like immediately like freak out and try to roll away? If it's not like causing any harm, I guess not. But it's just like, like it blows up immediately. So I probably would have got killed by this shit.
nah, God.
Because it's not like she like latched onto him with like a crab claw or something. It's like, oh shit, get this thing off me quick, because it's like it's
Yeah,
hurting. But like this shit, it didn't cause any pain or anything. She just slapped him on the ground, left some hair on him, and like normally you wouldn't think anything about that,
yeah.
but bitch is flammable.
So which one of these witches
So,
do we think dealt the blow to the king that scarred his face?
Oh
Because, like, bro, like, they got some aura on this double page spread. Like,
yeah,
all of these niggas look clean as fuck. Like, this one
even the bug.
yeah, the silhouette of the three-headed witch in the
yeah.
moon is very, very,
That
yeah.
one's fire.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's giving like Fate's energy or something, or like just is there like a Triclops? Is that a thing? Like, um,
Triclops, yo.
no, that's
That'd
the
be three
clops are the
eyes
eyes.
on one
Yeah,
head,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm tripping. Is there a word for that? I
Cerberus?
don't know. Yeah, Cerber human, Cerber human. I don't know, but
We got a
nah, that
fucking got a nigga that
You
looked like something out of Bloodborne. Got the rapier with the three panel conquistador hat or whatever.
that's like an old
I would
lady. She
assume
was at the table.
Oh, true, true. Oh yeah, these are witches. These are all ladies anyway.
Yeah.
I would
Okay,
assume that's who cut his face.
the one with the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
'Cause you got a bug, you got big hairy fist lady, you got fire lady, flying three-headed angel lady, and then someone on a horse with what looks like a wand. Is that a wand? I
Shit,
don't know what that is.
that horse could be a witch too. We don't even know. It's got the hood on it.
I was
Could
thinking it
be.
might. Okay, it's not the thing that they're using to stomp on Altus. So yeah, that's a completely different beast because this thing has like 8 legs. So like they got a thing for extra appendages and shit. Like that thing's got like 8 legs. The centipede thing has like 20 legs. The hair chick has 4 arms. The chick in the back's got 3 heads. Like they just like having extra shit.
Yeah, and like, wait a minute, the hair witch seems to have summoned the the weird antler demon thing, the vassal of the night Hara.
Yeah, with 6
What
eyes.
is this thing's, what is their ability? Because like we got like an in-depth breakdown of how the nun's power works, and she says that it was a gift. So I think that like there are more like Lovecraftian deities that are like bestowing powers onto people outside of just the one that gave the king his powers and the one that gave Julian his powers. So I think that
Yeah,
we're
because
Look,
like,
like, yeah.
I'm just settling with the fact that this witch has got to be Centuria's version of Bayonetta. Like,
Oh,
that that's the only explanation.
also, witches and witches be doing shit, so they probably like created their own powers with, some witchcraft, rituals and cauldrons and shit. Like they probably did a lot of this shit themselves and summoned demons and stuff. So like their
yeah.
power is unrelated to whatever the king is like bestowed upon anyone or whatever.
Well, they're
They
using
they
the same
probably
verbiage of gift, right? So like maybe
it's
the
probably just
fire
in.
is in that context, but then they have other abilities outside of those.
I think that's
Just
just the
yeah,
inverse name, like people having nin abilities or whatever. Like it's just
We
right.
all abilities are just known as gifts.
Yeah, but they're
we
all
need more explanation.
the nen abilities, for example, they're all coming from the same power source though. Even though they all have like different abilities that can do whatever, and they make them all up. Like it's still coming from like a common denominator, like power source in that circumstance. I'm thinking
Yeah.
that yeah, like I'm thinking that like they like when gift is used, I'm thinking that they were bestowed some kind of power from some like divine entity, like we've seen with everyone else that talks about their gifts or whatever so far in the series. But then on top of that, they could also have developed their own witch based like cauldron and spell book style abilities as witches too, outside of that. Because the hair witch, for example, gets the hair armor, but then can also summon antler demon. That doesn't seem like a part of the same power set. You know what I mean? Like that
Maybe she
seems
has
like
a
two
power
Antler
abilities.
Evil
connection.
Eye Demon.
Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
like two abilities coming from two completely different, locations to me, at least off the top of my head right now. Unless that antler demon is made out of hair too, and we just don't know yet, or something like
Or
that.
or
But
maybe it's just a summon. Like she like her
yeah,
gift is the hair and she also like found, figured out how to her separately she learned how to summon, demons or
I
whatever.
think that
Or like this
that's
is
what
her
I
mount.
yeah, I think that's what I'm where I'm going with it too, is that they have Lovecraftian deity gifts, and then also, oh, we figured out how to do stuff over here in a different way style gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where my head it is for now. Because it's like, bro, everybody's ability seems to be like very, logically contained inside of an advantage and caveat kind of system so far. But this one character, seems to just be all over the place as far as like how their power works conceptually. Whereas like Altus, for example, slash Arcos is just like water manipulation. Lacrima is I am water, and here are the advantages and
Well,
disadvantages that come with that. Even fucking, Julian's ability has advantage and disadvantage stuff that's been kind of like written in. Like everybody seems to have a very like, specific, power or whatever that can be explained in
Julian
like a
has.
yeah.
Oh, not Julian. Lucas has multiple abilities, which still hasn't been explained.
Yeah, inside of the greater concept of like knight abilities though, right? So like he has like a
Well,
sword that can do a thing and a shield that can do a thing and then a transformation, right? Where he goes into
no,
like
there
a
was
yeah.
there was something else. Hold
Yeah,
up.
it was like a
Y'all
lance.
can keep going,
Yeah,
but
he turned his shit into a big ass lance too, right? And he's like, I was saving this or whatever. But that's all
Yeah.
that can all be explained inside of of like a Knight Templar concept or something
Yeah.
like that. Where he just has like
yeah.
multiple moves inside of something where there's like a connecting theme or motif to all of his attacks kind of like come from the same place. It feels like even if there's multiple. But like
So
hair armor and antler demon summon are so different.
just a correction on that
Yeah.
because they didn't summon the antler thing. It fell out of the sky. If you go back to
What?
chapter 59, they're flying on its back.
Oh,
They probably
they
they
could
probably
still have
still like
summoned
summoned
it.
it though. Like it
Yeah.
probably summoned it and wrote it onto the scene.
Eh, I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's a good point though. I had completely forgotten about that. Hold on, where is this thing?
59
Oh
page
yeah, I
3.
see it.
Yeah.
Ah, That's so funny. But yeah, they definitely could still have summoned it and then wrote it over there.
Yeah,
It
but
has,
that's less conclusive that it was summoned.
Yeah, true.
well, sure. It does look like it has fire on its feet on that first page, so it could be related to the fire chick.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Or she could just be propelling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
A whole lot of
Um,
things could be happening here.
yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of possibilities for sure, but yeah, it. I mean, this page is definitely cool. It shows us who more of our potential antagonists are. Because some of these people, like I just went back. I think it's page chapter 13 where we initially see the prophecy page where it like shows Diana as an adult, and it has a bunch of these witches there, but some of them are not there. But like fucking rapier witch is there, and horseman with the crown witch is there. Hair witch was there, and fire mouth witch, but the three-headed chick and the centipede were not there. The centipede chick. So I mean the prophecy is for the future. So and this page we see here is in the past. So maybe the centipede died, or maybe, I mean, it's possible that two of these guys died. Probably not. They might just be, off fucking about. But uh, lets us know that.
Also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we at least can expect to see, at least two more of these characters because four of these six characters were in the future prophecy.
Yeah. But also, chapter 52, Lacrima specifically says that Lucas has a second gift when he pulls out the spear.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we got to get a little bit more info on these gifts and stuff like that, and find out how other people are using abilities and what all are gifts and what are like, things that they got on their own from reading scrolls and clapping their hands and cooking babies and shit, whatever they be doing.
Lacrima could
Witches
also
and
just
shit.
be wrong.
Could
Lacrima.
be, I don't know.
No, I
Yeah.
just wanted to throw that out there. I just think it's tight how this matchup is like, because this is still the body and power set of a character that is directly related to the king that the witches needed six of each other to kind of hope to deal with or whatever. So there only being two here, even versus the Atlas body where his consciousness is like new or whatever. It's just still like a really interesting matchup that I think is going to end up doing a lot for Atlas's character or Altus's character, just like what Helen was talking about in this chapter, where her and Elstree are kind of arguing, and Helen is like, "There's no need to fear. You must take risks to reap the rewards. This kind of desperate situation is hard to come by." And Elstree's like, "Yo, this nigga's gonna get waffle stomped like immediately. Like we need to pull him back." And I think she's like kind of thinking like a similar thing. It's like, hold on now, wait a minute now. This is the son of the king right now. Like it's not, it's not no random punk out here. Like this is big Arcos at the end of the day. Like let him cook real quick against these guys, and maybe we'll get like a newer version of, Altus that ends up kind of eclipsing the Arcos in power or whatever that we'd seen before because of such a life-threatening situation that he's being thrust into. And we even see at the end of the chapter, it's like, is this Arcos kind of talking to him from beyond the grave? Like, hey, lock in, bro. We're tighter than this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
At the
that's what I
end.
was thinking.
Okay, you think at the end that's Arcos?
Something like
Yeah.
that, or like
I was
the echoes of his, or the embers of his consciousness, or soul, or personality.
I hadn't even thought of that. I was thinking it was like the fucking water demon bitch or something.
Oh
Like
shit!
whatever gave him like his power, maybe like return to
It,
him like, yo, like you using my power wrong, bitch.
yeah, it could be that.
I think Helm is
It
trying
could be.
to, like, with her power, create an entity that is above the king. And I think she's trying to, like, maybe this is completely like conjecture. Like I have nothing to go on for this, but maybe like a secret motivation of Helm is she's trying to kind of cultivate an existence that's on par or above the king for one reason or another, because she wants to assassinate that nigga too, maybe. And so she's trying to maybe do that through Altus. And that's why she's like, no, we're not retreating. He needs this experience right now. We trying
I
to,
was definitely
yeah,
I was getting like Mimo vibes from like last week's Gotcha chapter where he's just like, hold on, let's fill him out, let him try and counter us and see what we can do to beat it. It's kind of like
yeah,
getting those kind of vibes like don't run, he's a zombie, so it is what it is. We can let him stretch his legs, see what he can really do under pressure type shit.
yeah.
But no, good chapter.
Hmm.
I'm more interested in the fire nun now because I guess at first I thought like I don't know what I really think now, but like when I saw the scars on her face and like when she shoots fire, I just assumed she was kind of like doing like something electrical that caused the fire. Like I thought it was like a spark that created fire, but like she's also got like a fire sword in the page with all the witches. So it's like, is the sword the same too? Like, does this also have like the flames of sin ability? Like when she slashes, does the sword do the whole like burn you for your sins type shit, or is it like
Yeah, good
something
question.
different? Yeah, so
Yeah.
That's her. Uh, what page is this? Hold
page
on.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, and 10. You can see that she has like, I guess, flames that constantly come out of the side of her mouth, which line up with where her scars are.
Yeah, but like at first I was thinking it was like an electrical thing, but I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
but
it
you
is.
were just saying where they come from now.
Well, because she has a sword on like the 4th page.
Yeah, on the double page spread, she's got some kind of like,
She's
you
got like an
know,
energy sword.
yeah, it seems like it's taken a specific shape instead of just a flamethrower like we've kind of been seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I just assumed she was like Kuwabara,
That's,
but
hey,
I mean,
spirit
stronger.
sword.
but is she like spitting, like spitting out the sword? Like she spit at her hand and it becomes a, just forms a blade? Or
Yeah, it's
is
possible
she,
that she can like manifest this exact same power in like a long range, mid range, or close range like style. Like maybe it like manifests in this like, sword that we see on the double page spread, but still does the same thing upon contact if she just wants to like swing something around that already has the energy kind of dedicated to it so that she doesn't have to constantly shoot energy. Like she can just like take a certain amount of energy, make a physical, or give it a shape or whatever, and then like it might be like an energy conservation style of her, or like a way to conserve energy inside of her fighting style rather. Because if you think about it as far as like mana pools go, it's like how much mana does it cost to constantly be shooting a flamethrower version of your attack versus taking that exact same fire and just giving it a shape to be swung around without having to like dedicate more energy to it on every attack or whatever,
yeah,
like a flamethrower would. It could be that, or this flame sword or spirit sword or whatever the fuck this is could have a completely different, set of conditions or properties or effects or whatever inside of her overall, ability kit or whatever, and we'd have to get the explanation for that too, obviously. But it's interesting to think about for sure.
good chapter.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool
very good.
stuff. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. But we'll find out next week if there's no break for Centuria. What's happening with Buddy? There's no main crew this week either. We got straight Altus and Witch action
Yeah, it's
as
interesting
usual.
taking the one of the antagonists and kind of like putting them in the position of like a protagonist versus other enemies. I like when
Yeah,
series do that.
Yeah, because he's not. I wouldn't really expect to follow him, but like I'm down if
Yeah.
like if like something happens and he wakes up and like realizes some shit or he gets some information and he gets up and runs away, I'd be cool with that. Like
Yeah.
I could see it being a case where it's like he gets up and like fucking runs for his life and the witches decide to not chase him and like hell him and shit is like, well, that guy was a waste, and like they kind of cut him loose but he doesn't like just die.
Hmm.
Like I can see that being a thing. That'd be kind of cool. Like he doesn't stay with Helm and Elstree anymore, but like these two witches also kind of give up on him because it looks like he's just a coward now. He's like, oh, it him running away, he's no threat to us anymore. Fuck him, let him go. Let's deal with Elstree and Helm, and then it becomes like the two witches versus the two witches.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, and then we
what's
just kind of
Watch Altus become the Deuteragonist.
That's what I'm saying is that like getting
Yeah.
this POV of him, like I'm almost like rooting like because like it's him versus enemies and he's like the spotlight character that we're like kind of like experiencing the story from in this chapter or these last couple of chapters rather. It's like I'm almost like rooting for him, like on top of the fact that he's obviously like a new consciousness that was like being manipulated and brought into, you know, this situation kind of like forcefully, like against his will. Like this is a completely new character. Like this is not Arcos. Like it kind of gives him pathos to a certain degree to where like there's a little bit of sympathy here that he's literally just was given sentience to be like a war tool weapon for like people that don't have his best interest in mind. So like I can definitely see him splintering off from this current allegiance and becoming his own character with his own set of motivations, and he can end up being a good guy or just like some kind of like wild card third party that just wants to do whatever he wants to do and isn't necessarily aligned with, you know, the protagonist team or the antagonist team. It's just a really interesting situation in Centuria right now with Atlas Altus.
I could definitely see
Constant.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly having Arcos in his ear yelling at him to go kill Julian.
Yeah, he's in his ear like the Green Goblin mask right now.
Yeah, I can see it being sort of like a Deku Shigaraki situation where we're like watching both of them like grow into who they're gonna become or whatever. But like with Julian's case, it's like it's not weird, but you know we what we're waiting for is like to see what the prophecy is up. You know what's up with that. So it's like we're watching Diane grow up and possibly watching, you know, fucking Atlas or Altus
Altus, baby.
watching, huh?
I said Altus, baby.
Yeah, whatever his name is, we're watching his like growth. I really hope he gets away now because I want to see like what he goes through. I'll be mad if he gets all the good fights. Like we just keep seeing Julian fight like fucking water niggas, and then Altus gets like fucking he fights cool shit. I don't know.
I'll be very upset if next chapter Arcos takes over and so Altus is just erased. Like I feel like that would be such a waste of potential.
Yeah, agreed. I definitely don't.
We not getting that. No, hell no.
Yeah.
That'd be a
I hope not.
That'd be a huge fumble.
Yeah, I could see him like being there to like whisper, you know, tell him how to use his powers correctly or something like that, and him going, "Ooh, get out of my head," and you know, fucking having a fucking crazy man moment where he's like hearing things and nobody knows what's wrong with him and shit. Trying to find out, you know, learn more about himself. But yeah, next week's got some promise. This was a good one. You got anything else for this one, Knox?
I think I'm good.
What about you, Trav?
Yeah, I'm squeezed.
All right, that's going to do it for Centuria, Chapter 62, The Flames of Sin. Now jumping into Dandadan, Chapter 205, Spiral Training. And I want to start off by saying I feel like we called it. Or, you know, I definitely was... What? Get out of here, brother.
We didn't what?
We did not call it.
What?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
We were talking about it, but we didn't see it happening.
Huh?
What are you?
The final panel.
Let me look at the final panel because now I'm confused.
Oh
Oh no, bro! Because like in the last what I was saying, I could see them doing a tag team type of thing, and maybe they like. I'm pretty sure I said maybe they
like
sync
they
up.
They switch back and forth as needed, which is what they do this chapter. So you did predict that right.
I think I said something like they figure out a way to like sync up. Like maybe GG is like he finds a way to like use his fighting style with the like energy or something, or like Evil Eye does it. Like maybe Evil Eye fights using like a similar like aura type of situation. I didn't say like face paint or whatever, but this is basically like what Zuma and Okarun do, but like the GG version. But like I'm gonna have to go back and listen to our last video now.
Yeah, I'll have to too.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say we called it, man. It was done. That one's in the book. The hell.
Yeah,
Get this guy out of here.
I love the progression to it too, because it's like, you know, Gigi's now fighting and he's throwing the waves, and as soon as he's about to get hit, Evil Eye comes out to block, and then he starts attacking, and then the switch back to Gigi, and it's cool how there's the progression from two completely separate entities to now they're switching back as needed to now they are essentially one and the same. It's cool.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is super tight, and obviously the choreography is dope. And the explanation for it is like, okay, I go into my human form so I can hit you with the Shoha wave and deal damage to you, but then I go into my evil eye form for defense to take damage because this is a stronger body, especially against spiritual power. I think that it's cool how they switch off in that kind of way. I think the breakdown of like the spintronics training with Seiko is really tight because it's like this isn't a hard power system or energy system like a Nen or like a cursed energy or anything like that. But the way that the logic is kind of broken down on how this energy works against certain enemies makes it feel like a harder power system, especially when it's talking about how like against a corporeal energy, you want the loosening force or the left loose, and against an ethereal enemy, you want the right tight energy or whatever. And the way that I'm kind of like picturing that in my mind is like, okay, there's already a physical entity here. So the left rotating energy that's like left loose is to like break apart, something that already has a physical form. You're like loosening it. But then the right tight containing force against an ethereal energy is almost like you're kind of trying to like trap, ghostly energy, almost like on some Ghostbusters shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just makes so much sense as an explanation as to like why Gigi's, ability affects solid enemies versus intangible enemies. It's just dope.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. And like having this type of thing given to us, like with the water bottle diagram or whatever, like the image and shit and like explanations, like stuff like that makes me feel like we will see Gigi get at least maybe two more fights before the series ends. Like I hope it'd be a shame for like, not to say that this is the final arc, but like whatever comes next is like the finale, and it's like we just got some training for Gigi, and then to have him get like one more fight, I feel like would be not a waste, but I feel like I'd want a little more, especially when you're adding more explanations to the power system. It's like, okay, let me see how he applies that in like his next fight, and then, give me another, like, give me a fight to show him, practicing it, and then give me a fight to show him when he's mastered his like technique or whatever.
Right.
I want to see a little more before we wrap it up. Not to say that the story's ending, but I don't know. When stories start to get a certain length and things start to feel a certain way, I kind of you gotta imagine the end coming at some point. But we might still have like another 100 chapters in there.
Yeah, I could see that. Because I mean, it's all leading towards like one big war anyway, with all of the players involved, right? Like we have like this intergalactic and like confederation of alien species that are trying to like build up something and attack Earth to a certain degree. And then on Earth we have, the yokai defense force that is like a very, like nobody seems to be like 100% like in unison on either side. You know what I mean? You have yokai that are down for the protection of Earth, but then also you have other yokai that are against the yokai that we know want to protect Earth. So there's like infighting in both factions because you have the Serpoians that aren't necessarily aligned with like the Sumerians or whatever that same alien species that Vamola kind of came from in her storytelling. They're not necessarily on a team together, but they both have beef with Earth for like one reason or another in order to have motivations to attack it. But then some Serpoians work with the Earthlings, so it's just like very um diverse motivations in both factions, I want to say. But it ultimately is kind of leading towards a Earth forces versus intergalactic forces kind of situation. So we at least need to get into like a final war arc in that way, because that's what they've kind of been building up ever since that one chapter that kind of broke down the relationship between aliens and spirits or whatever.
And it showed
Yeah.
they were showing Jermaine with all the other like creatures and shit.
Yeah.
So we'll find out what he's after for hopefully soon. Because remember he even had that we had that break right after he was like, "Have you ever heard of the Dandadan or whatever?"
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So there's a lot going on with Buddy Ass, but yeah, I can see it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we spend another like 20 to 30, 40 chapters like kind of building up and showing more like squabbles like this, and handling like little issues like getting Momo's body back to normal and shit, and then like it moves into like a final battle arc that lasts like 50 or so chapters. Kind of like the global whatever alien arc we had, the big one. But I mean, with Dandadan being what it is, like he can just make shit up and it works. Like there can just be endless threats. Like more things could come. Jermaine's story doesn't have to end here, but he also doesn't have to be the end.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They keep going for a while. It's just without seeing the end goal for what we're currently seeing, it's hard to predict, oh, something big's going to show up afterwards, and then, the adventure continues.
Yeah, because like we got beef with the aliens, but some of the aliens got beef with aliens, so it's like this shit could go for a long time, and just more
Yeah.
threats could come, and we got fucking smoke ninjas now, but
Yeah.
yeah, fucking cool chapter. GG versus Red Baron, and Buddy still throwing them fucking Marlboro punches. I don't think he had any named ones in this chapter, but
Yeah, no, it was just unnamed hands and feet. Just choreography.
yeah, it was good stuff. There's boxing, bro. Figured it out. GG got the moves now, but now I really want to see like. So this is. I wonder like. It seems like it's Evil Eye like in control here, just because he's like because I'm a genius, yo. Pew pew. So it's like it seems like more of a GG in control thing. But it's also like
But he's just able to borrow the defensive capabilities of the Evil Eye, but as GG. That's like
yeah,
the synthesis that we're looking at here. Yeah.
yeah, but and they like get along though, I guess kinda, because like they're both. I mean, I don't know if I want to say get along, but like they're getting along in this case because they both want to like beat this dude. But like it seems like a better relationship than like Okarun and Turbo Granny. Although Turbo Granny, like she cares, but like she won't like. I don't know. It's just I'm getting better vibes from these two like together working together as like a unit than I was with like Okarun and Turbo Granny and like Zuma and I forget his yokai's name or whatever. But I'm wondering if they're still gonna like swap. If they're gonna like swap control, who is controlling the main body or whatever, and how this like when this fight is over, like how they'll continue things and shit. Because this kick, I was gonna say like when Red Baron goes to kick Gigi in the face and like he has the Shohai wave or whatever, but then he kicks him. So that's like Gigi's body enveloped in the Evil Eye's energy because Gigi couldn't touch him at first,
Yeah.
but like but he didn't blast him, he kicked him. So it's like the kicks were only working when it wasn't working actually. It was only energy was working with Gigi, but a kick landed. So it's like
Yeah.
okay.
I think the Shoha, I think the page on 16 where Red Baron goes for the front kick lands in the face. You could see that the Evil Eye entity or like whatever the art on Gigi's body is Evil Eye presenting because of like the shading on the back or whatever. So that is Evil Eye there. So I think the Shoha palms on the chest that he's loading up after he gets kicked in the face is a feint.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he
And the
just
kick
fucking
comes.
and then he just kicks him in the face. And this is how we kind of like see that there's like a little bit of a combination of GG and Evil Eye going on here. So like is the caveat in this combination that we're seeing at the end of the chapter, is this just GG's fighting style with Evil Eye's, defensive abilities or whatever? Because I'm sitting here going like, can he not fire a Shoha wave while he's in this when he's in this combined state? Because otherwise, like while he had the Shoha wave like loaded, like that was a direct hit, like probably a crit that was just loaded up there. Like why didn't he fire a Shoha wave there? Because he couldn't, right? It wasn't just for the sake of landing a fucking kick, right?
Maybe it's more like a fusion, like Vegito type of deal, where it's like he's kind of like arguing with himself. Like he might have wanted to do the Shoha wave, but then like the Evil Eye version, like steering the legs is like, nah, fuck that, we're kicking him, and so he
Right.
like stopped shooting the beam and kicked him
How did the kick land though? Because
because it's
even
He's
Evil
sending
Eye,
the energy into him to
yeah.
make him solid.
Oh, okay. So he gave him a little bit of a Shoha like right rotation, R form
Yeah.
rotation, like in the chest, just to make him corporeal enough to be kicked.
Yeah. That's
okay.
what it looks like.
Oh,
Okay, I thought it was just
sure.
a fake out. and the kick
Yeah,
landed because I thought the kick landed because it was like he infused like energy into his kick. Like since
yeah.
they're fused now, like I can now hit you physically because we're sharing the energy. Like at first it was him using the energy and me using the kicks, and now I'm kicking you, sharing the energy.
Yeah, because if
Like
this nigga doesn't need the Shoha wave anymore and he can just like incorporate that R form, like rotating spintronics energy that he uses in the Shoha wave just into limbs of his body and can fight hand to hand with that same rotating energy that's used in the Shoha wave, but just in like imbued in like a punch or a kick, then that's fucking sick, actually.
I do think I would probably like the infusing it, like shooting the energy into someone more though. That way it doesn't, like, unless he can find a way to make it look interesting, but like I wouldn't want him to just become like a punch kick guy.
Yeah,
Like if it ends up with GG having to like, skillfully, kind of like what's the chick in Bleach, like Soy Fong or whatever. Like she's
yeah,
got to like, if he can find like ways to like sneakily, tap you to put some energy into you so that it makes you like a physical entity, then he can kick your ass. That's cool. I like
yeah,
that
yeah.
over like my hands glow and now I can punch air. Like I would, I
Yeah.
would like it more if he's turning him into a solid
Right. If there's
versus
a if
like,
there's one more step of like a setup before you can do a certain thing rather than just go,
yeah,
"Oh, we have the explanation on how this rotating energy works and now I've just put it into my hands and feet and there's no more, like I'm kind of like cutting out the middleman." It kind of like makes it feel softer and like less it makes it I see what you're saying. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Whereas like before, like if you actually needed to shoot certain Shoha energy into the Red Baron first before he could land a kick, then that makes it feel a lot better than just, oh, that same energy that I had to shoot out in a Kamehameha wave in order to damage you is now just in my hands and feet and I don't need that previous step anymore. Then yeah, I can see how that could be less entertaining, yeah.
yeah. Because then
Or
it just becomes us watching GG punch people with like glowy hands.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I like that then on page 16 where he gets kicked in the face by the front kick, loads up the Shoha wave, but it's actually just like a light application of the right rotating spintronics energy being imbued into the Red Baron, so that now he's in a corporeal state and can be hit by a punch or a kick. I like that progression. I like that sequence a lot more. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm hoping Traffy's right on that one.
Me too.
Yeah, you don't get that you're not gonna get that from me many times, but I hope Traffy's right.
Right for the first time ever. That would be great for the show.
Oh
But
my god.
good chapter though. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like that basically GG's, fusion form or whatever is like the evil eye, but the eye closes because when evil eye's in control, that third eye is like open and it's fucking swirling. But like when GG's in control, it's just like white, I guess, energy, and then
Oh,
his
nice.
face isn't as dark. Like the
Yeah.
upper parts of his face, it doesn't look shadowed. It still
Right.
looks, shaded, but it doesn't look like pitch black, and you can see that like the lines coming out are, you can see
Yeah,
them
different
better.
screen tone pattern too, because if you look at like page 13 and 14,
It's more scaly.
yeah, it's more scaly, it's more like vectory, kind of like geometric, like cross hatching, like there's like triangles and trapezoids and shit in the screen tones, whereas the fusion state is literally just like regular comic book dots.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. This is cool. Can't
Yeah.
wait to see what tomorrow brings. And
Oh, that's tomorrow. Yes, I always forget that.
yeah, well, people listening will be listening to this today as the
True.
new chapter comes out. But yeah, for us it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is dope watching them squabble.
Yes,
GG.
sir.
Evil Eye, Red Baron. Yep, he was getting kind of kicked around and shit, and failing to kick through smoke, but they figured it out. Got the bait and switch, got the tag outs. Called it. No matter what Traffy says.
Yeah, at the very least, we were definitely talking about some kind of like back and forth switching,
Yeah.
uh, strategy inside of GG and Evil Eye.
Yeah.
Whether we called the fuse state or not, we'd have to go back and listen to that. Maybe if Rick said was still watching our show, he'd be able
Yo,
to.
shout out to dude, man.
Yeah, where did dude go? Ricky, party jams. Come fuck with us again, bro. We need your input. Anyway, he'd be the one to find the receipts for us.
Baby, come back. But yeah, nah, it's cool to see this now. You know, all our guys are. We need, bruh, Kidsa. We need Kidsa to get a new form, bruh, because
Yo,
all the dudes got yokai fucking face forms now. You know, they got masks and shit. Kidsa the only one. We got to get Kidsa his fucking mech helmet permanently.
he's on his way, bro. He's up next as fuck. Like, now that GG got his shit, Kenta is
Kidsa,
right around the corner.
we definitely need some Kidsa flex because
Fuck yeah.
Gigi's been kind of out of the limelight for a while.
But Kenta has kind of been in the limelight. He just had an amazing showing against a evil alien predator fighter chick that was trying to kill Okarun. But no, he definitely needs like his final form moment though.
Yeah, we need his
or he
final.
fuses with the nanotech.
Yo, little transhumanism action. That would be tight. Like if Kenta like legitimately lost limbs or something, that would be a crazy point of tragedy in the story. Like that would be really high stakes. Like holy shit, a main cast member like actually like lost an arm or a leg or both arms or an some kind of combination of crazy traumatic damage like that, just for them to come around and be like, it's okay, like I was always meant to be fused with this nano skin technology or whatever, like I've been treating it like an extension of my body anyway for the last however long. That would be insane for his character, actually. And
I
then
could see him doing that, and he'd be the first character to turn his arm into Mega Man's Mega Buster.
yeah,
Start shooting it at people.
I'm trying to think like what would be the like most like, since it's it's a shonen and it's a fucking fat kid. I'm trying to just imagine like what I could actually see happening to him, like what kind of damage. I don't know if I see like an arm coming off, but I can see somebody Goldberg spearing the shit out of him and breaking his spine. Something that you can't see, and then
oh
he just
sure,
uses the nanotech, reconstructs his spine, and then like that just becomes his thing. Like he just fucking Iron Man suit at all times type shit.
I could see that. It's gonna be something like that, bro. Like, because it's like we don't ever see permanent damage like that inside of this cast yet. You know what I mean? And Kenta, nobody's got like, any kind of like they be getting fucked up in these fights, but at the end of the day, like the most long lasting, effect or consequence or damage, I guess, that we've seen on a character is Momo being shrunk for like 2 arcs.
Yeah, I do feel like that would be like a crazy way because people would really probably fuck with him heavy. Then like people, there's still people that don't like Kenta, but I
Yeah.
feel like if you saw him, fucking sacrifice himself and take like incredible damage to the point where it's like, oh man, Kenta can't, he might not make it, and then it's like he fucking pulls through with ingenuity and shit. Like he fucking figures out a way to like keep himself going. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna use the tools that were given to me, and he figures out a way to keep his body moving and not fucking retire from the cast. I can see that being a thing that people really like fuck with him for.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would have to be something as extreme as a loss of a limb, to be honest with you, because if it's like, I guess the broken spine thing still kind of works, but it'd have to be at least that. But I think the best way to approach it would be I lost a leg or an arm and a leg and am using, this nanotechnology that I've been fighting with for my entire time in this series is I'm now one with it. You know what I mean?
No,
in a irreversible way.
I think typically with stories like this, you're less likely to see limbs cut off.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'd be more like he's dying and then
Yeah.
the nanotech resuscitates him.
Yeah.
And
that's why it would hit
that point,
harder
it's
though
already
if it
in
did
his
happen.
body.
If it did happen to a character like Kenta for the first time in a series, like, because we don't see shit like that in Dandadan. But if it were going to happen, I mean, we're over 200 chapters into the story now, and no one's ever taken really serious damage like that. That would be like a crazy shock for a story like Dandadan that has like a very obvious solution kind of baked into the character of Kenta already right there. So it can be used as like a holy shit, Dandadan just took it to the next level. We've never seen a character get their fucking arm ripped off before. And, the solution is literally just right there. It's like, oh, and then as soon as it happens, people are going to go, duh. Of course, Kenta would fucking just have a robotic arm after this. You know what I mean?
Because like because you also like when that type of stuff happens, you also kind of do it to characters that you either like you don't rip off the arm of like your main character. You do it to somebody who either you don't plan on like incorporating into the story much more, for the rest of the story, or like someone who has a believable like solution to it pretty
Right.
quickly. So it's like
Right.
it makes sense that you would do it to Kenta because I got a robot arm, baby. I always wanted one.
Exactly.
It fits. It works. I
Yeah.
do like the idea though of like him dying. Like what if we find out, that he's got some like life threatening disease or something, and it's like everything that he's been doing, all of his personality, it just stems from him wanting to like connect to people before his like time came or something. It's just like Kenta, he didn't want like to not have friends. He didn't want to be alone when he died or something. But then he, realizes that he could use his nanotech to prolong his life or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need Kenta to get something and like
That's when we're
more
gonna
cool.
get the crazy Kenta backstory, like writing, is when he has taken that mortal damage and he's like on the verge of death before, fusing with the nanotech in some kind of way. That's when we're gonna get all of that shit for him,
Yeah,
is in that
yeah,
Love that.
moment.
Yeah, that's the theory. Locked in.
Yeah, that's the theory, locked in for sure. And just like one more point inside of the we haven't seen characters in Dandadan take damage like that up until this point. It's like the longer the series goes on, almost the more necessity there is that bigger, more traumatic, permanent damage is kind of taken inside of a cast that's regularly getting fucking thrown through buildings and fucking hit with crazy energy waves. And like, dude, the situations that Yukinobu Tatsu puts these characters in sometimes, I'd be wondering how there isn't more lasting damage. And like the scale of conflict is only going to keep increasing as the series goes on. So eventually, like, I feel like for the sake of like making those threats more believable, bigger damage like that eventually has to be taken by somebody. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because we're like,
Or
we're on the verge of like intergalactic, like, alien spirit war that's like threatening the galaxy. Like
Yeah.
somebody's got to lose an arm at some point or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
for a story that spent a lot of time with aliens that were trying to steal your genitalia, it's
Ah,
crazy that everyone has their genitalia.
yo, on God.
And all their fingers and everything. Yeah, like
Right.
nothing. Nobody's lost nothing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I can definitely
They haven't gotten a single banana organ.
Yo.
no success. Yeah, just go to Walmart and get some bananas. But like, no, I mean, even like Saint Germain, he's got a sword, and it's like if he fights, like if we get to see him fight all out, he doesn't like land. If all he does is like poke, like nigga, if you'll slash something off somebody, like
Right.
if nobody loses a limb or anything while fighting a swordsman who's supposed to be the final boss, like bro, come on,
Yeah.
you kind of trash with the sword, bro.
On God.
But I don't know. I think that's gonna be it for me for this chapter. You got anything else for this one, Traffy?
Nah, I'm good.
What about you, Knots?
I am also good.
All right. Well, the boys are all squeezed out on this one. We're gonna holler at y'all. That was Dandadan chapter 205, Spiral Training. Now jumping into Shangri-La Frontier, chapter 232, The Wolf Wars Confirmed. Speaking with your fists wins the day. Another case of me not reading the chapter title while I was reading the chapter officially or originally, but looking back, it's like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. It really
So,
does.
yeah, it's a good chapter. How you feeling, Knox?
I love how we're still finding out like more and more secret layers of why this deliberation was kind of put into place, or this negotiation, whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, so we're trying to publicly humiliate this nigga in like a PvP scenario. And because at first it was like, revealed that, oh, we're doing this whole entire war room argument, negotiation scene because we're trying to discredit, this rebellious character so that he kind of like chills on the hardliner shit and, lets Saiger 100 resume total control of the guild without any, lip or, any kind of pushback, given his position as second in command or whatever. And at first, I thought that that was going to be done entirely through this negotiation verbally with dialogue. But now it's kind of revealed that, like, no, we're about to fight this nigga too. And, like, a PvP guild wars kind of, scenario, like, with representatives and champions representing, like, both guilds or whatever. And that's a really cool setup. But I just like how, it's just kind of slowly being revealed what the true goal is and that there are multiple kind of shocking reveals along the way leading to the ultimate goal or whatever. It's so like heady, you know what I mean? It's so like cerebral, it's so mind gamey.
It's it feels like this kind of is a requirement. Like there is an official like in-game like way to like officially duel between two guilds, but it requires kind of like other people to be there from other guilds, kind of like so
Yeah.
it seems like it to to rebellious it seems, oh shit, these people just happen to be here. I'm probably getting trapped in the situation if that is a thing, but it's like they put this situation together on purpose so that they could have all these people here, get him to challenge them, dare them to back out of the alliance or bend the knee or whatever. But then all these other people come and it's like, hey, you kind of you fucked off, and you don't have to be part of our alliance, but you can if you want, and get rebellious to challenge them and force a situation where now they have this means of like legally, in game legally, like officially
Yeah.
declare like war with this clan, but it not end up in a thing where it's just like I'm gonna kill you,
Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna
we
go
know that
outside and
there's a
kill you.
PvP flagging system
Yeah,
like in the game where you can just attack anyone at any time. But this seems like
yeah,
they're building towards like an instanced arena kind of situation to where maybe the same kind of looting rules don't apply, and it's literally
right.
just like all for glory or
And it's like
whatever.
an actual activity. Like
Yeah,
there's yeah, like they queue it up, people watch, and like it goes and it gets saved. Like this event gets saved on like a leaderboard or like a in-game lore. This becomes like an in history event, like
right,
something that maybe the lore guild would like keep track of versus saying like, oh yeah, fucking Sunraku killed dude outside. And it's like
right.
nobody knows, nobody remembers, and he just respawns and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, having it as something that officially goes on record, like there was a clan battle between these two clans. We were there as witness. We saw it. They lost, and it is what it is.
Yo, imagine it gets reported in like the in-game news system, like Rebellious got
That,
stepped on by Oikatsu in the
bruh.
PvP guild arena.
Yeah, like when you open up a game and before you hit like launch, sometimes it have like news. What if that shit's like on
Yeah.
that like the launch app, like you open the game and it's like, oh shit, Siger, fucking Schwarzwolf fucking faced off against Wolfgang, and oh fucking Rebellious got fucking stomped like into the
Yeah.
dirt. Like, oh my
I'm
god.
never
Like they get
logging in as Rebellious ever again. Like I'm making an
yeah.
entirely new avatar after that.
Yeah, like imagine niggas watching that shit like at school. Like they're not like in the game, they're just like watching it on YouTube or something because the shit's
Oh,
made it to like somebody recorded it and shit. That's
yo,
crazy.
need that.
Yeah, hopefully that's the kind of situation it's leading to, and they just kind of framed it as like, oh yeah, we actually had another alliance cooking, but like these guys just so happen to be here
Hmm.
for this official clan duel or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Who do y'all think is gonna fight from Wolfgang?
Kyogoku for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyogoku's getting
But
in
that's
there.
like not
and
fair, bro.
Sunraku.
Because dude, Kyogoku already like decimated like half of their guild, bro. Like Kyogoku
I
almost
can
can't do it.
I can definitely see them going like, as a way, since these guys are mostly like all of them are known for PvP kind of like, well, not all of them, but like not Siger, but Pencilgon and
Kyogoku.
Kyogoku, people in game know that they are PvPers. So I could see it being like, okay, to keep things fair, like I'm not gonna get involved and Kyogoku's not gonna get involved. So you face off against, and it's like they throw like Sunraku in there because like everybody wants a piece of Sunraku because he's been taunt. Like
Yeah, he
there's
has
no
been
way.
rage baiting like a
Yeah,
motherfucker these last couple
there's no way
chapters.
dude's not gonna want to rip his head off. Yeah,
Yeah, I can definitely see it being like a Sunraku and Oikatsu team up because how often have we seen them in like a duo kind of situation in the series? I think that that's
yeah,
like kind of rare, honestly, or maybe it's never happened. We've definitely seen Pencilgon and Sunraku like as a duo fight together in the story,
yeah.
but I don't
And
think
then I
we've
can
seen
see
Sunraku and Katsu. But
Not well. We saw them when they fought against like Wazamon,
Yeah,
but
that was
not
all
like
three of them.
yeah, that was all three.
I mean, on
But I
like
mean,
a yeah.
we also do still have Rust, Mordo, and Akane Akitsu. I don't really think like all of them have experience in PvP. Like
hmm
fucking Mordo and Rust, they were playing the mech PvP
Nephilim
game or
Hollow,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Akane Akitsu was in was it a Passion Burn
Oh
something
yeah,
Passion Online?
Burke Online, yeah,
Yeah,
Berserk Online
yeah.
Passion. There we go.
Yeah, so it's like they all have PvP experience. So it's like I would like to see because I feel like it probably will be a 2-on-2 thing. Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking like 3-on-3 or 5-on-5, but like five is
Yeah.
probably too many.
Well, to be fair, too, like when Kyogoku fought all of those Schwarzwolf members, they were kind of like nameless jobbers. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like if you're actually like reaching into your guild and like trying to find specific champions or representatives for this Guild Wars style PvP event, you're probably gonna grab like, upper echelon members of your guild, specifically if you know that, especially if you know that Kyogoku or Pencilgon, known PvP player killers, are going to be involved. You probably want to grab, from the cream of the crop inside of your guild, whereas Kyogoku just came in and just fucking sliced through, like cut a swath through all of the lower ranked, like nameless members. So they
yeah,
probably, yeah, it'll probably be different in this kind of situation. So maybe it's not unfair to have Kyogoku on the lineup for Wolfgang, if that's the
yeah.
case.
I can see Kyogoku and Pentagon not being involved, and just like this would fucking fart brain, but I can see
Oh,
Rebellious definitely doing like them forcing Rebellious to pull from his like faction within Schwarzwolf. So it's like we don't see, Saiger Zero's like people, the people that she fuck with get like embarrassed in this duel, but it's like, you want to be a leader, take your people that you kind of lead. So it's like she gets rid of all of it. She cuts out him and his fucking flunkies that want to change the way that the guild operates.
yeah.
And it's a I guess a smart decision here was cutting Saiger 100 from the clan too. So Saiger officially she's not in their clan no more, but she also isn't joining Wolfgang until the debt is paid off. But like I don't think she's technically still considered because I can see them like using that like, oh, you can't bring Saigo 100 because she's not part of the clan anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
would he would probably definitely reach for her like, yo, we're bringing in Saigo 100 to fight Sanraku or whatever.
Well, no, because Sager 100 wants to go to them, so they wouldn't include her anyways. Because what's to say she doesn't throw the fight because she
True.
wants to go to Wolfgang.
True. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess that could be a fear, but I don't think Rebellious is really thinking too straight. So I can see him doing. He can fuck up there, but yeah, no, I definitely think he's probably gonna want to fight Sunraku like straight up and like
Oh yeah.
but maybe before fighting Sunraku, he does some shit like he's like after I'm done with this idiot, I'm coming for you since you hurt our clan at like Kyogoku, but he never makes it to her. Like he just does it, make it through the gauntlet because Sunraku dances on him.
I just can't wait to see this nigga's kit because it's like obviously, he's been introduced as a character with his position, the second in command of Schwarzwolf, and that's a big deal. But pretty much his entire character so far that we've seen him on screen has been him getting humiliated, like mentally and spiritually and verbally, by other characters. So like his fighting style and his capabilities in combat have got to be really impressive. Like they're not just going to have this character introduced and then get humiliated in this deliberation and then also just fucking completely stepped on in the physical side of things too. Like they have to give him something that kind of balances everything out. Otherwise he's just going to be a character that never meant anything, was introduced and got fucking stepped on every step of the way. And then it's like, okay, why were we ever worried about this nigga in the first place? Like there has to be some kind of showing, of him that's going to make us go, oh, okay, this is why he was second in command in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first glance, I'm kind of imagining him being kind of like a tank paladin spec type of class.
Yeah. He's going to have something with his fighting style that's tricky for our people to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
whether
they
it's
can't
whether it's
just like
crazy DPS or some kind of crazy defense or some kind of combat IQ that's just like really impressive like when the fight actually like starts or something like that. Like they have to give him something for us to go,
yeah.
"Oh, okay." Because otherwise like he'll just have been a jobber from start to finish and it's like why did we focus on his character at all in the first place?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't see them flubbing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a good one. And even the little contract that they drew up, like Cyger Zero is saying, like, it just kind of looks, good for Wolfgang, but it really doesn't mean shit. It's just all fucking words on the paper to fuck with Rebellious and have him like fucking throw a fit. And he's like, they're taking everything, they're trying to get us for the robbing us blind, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, these words don't really mean shit. Like it doesn't really give them any real benefit.
Yeah. There's so many
It's like,
layers to like even the dialogue in this series. Like obviously we know about the layers inside of in-game mechanics and like combat strategies from like fight to fight or boss to boss or raid to raid or whatever, we're dealing with in the actual, on a mechanics level in Shangri-La Frontier. But even when there's no action, like the dialogue based exchanges have so many moving parts and layers to them. It's just all really well done how Ryosuke Fuji and Katarina kind of put these conflicts together, whether inside or outside of combat. There's just a lot going on in Shangri-La Frontier that
yeah.
is just like it's so incredible the level of balance that they're able to achieve, not just in what we're talking about right now, but also in the fucking respect of like we can hop out of the game and jump into a different game that has this same level of depth and layers like applied to a completely different game than the one that we like come to this manga for. It's just like holy shit, dude, look at the brain on these people creating this story to be able to balance all of these things at once and make it feel like cohesive and well paced and not like overwhelming ever in regard to information or mechanics or dialogue. Like everything breathes so well and flows so well together no matter what's happening, no matter what they're how many different things they're trying to achieve at one time. It just all feels so good all the time.
Yeah, I'm never like, man, get back to the monsters. I'm just, this is good.
Right.
Mental battle, these fucking clan battles and talks and shit. This is good stuff. And it's about to reach his head. So it's like we probably got, another chapter. I can see next chapter kind of like halfway through the chapter they're still talking, but then it ends with them on some sort of battlefield or something. Or maybe not. Maybe the battle doesn't happen immediately and it's just like something they schedule, like, we'll meet up next Tuesday at 7 p.m. at the fucking battlefield of the fallen fucking cucumbers or something. I
Oh,
don't know.
sure,
And then
yeah, and then we get to kind of like take a break from like the immediate
yeah.
like, situation and get some more like character writing for Rebellious maybe or just go
Yeah.
explore a different area of Shangri-La Frontier and come back to this for some reason.
Yeah, maybe even
Yeah.
sprinkle some more fucking Ray not getting to admit that she's Saiger to Sunraku. Like they
Yeah.
step out and Sunraku's like walking to class and he's like muttering to himself like, yeah, we got that fucking idiot or something. Like can't wait till next week to get him. And like Ray sees him and she tries to talk to him but he doesn't notice her or something. And some shenanigans happen, like she runs into a stop sign or some shit. I want her to fucking get her fucking confession out and say like, "Hey, I'm Saigo 100," but like it's just I feel like it keeps getting cock blocked by stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a fat minute like before that reveal is kind of like laid out for Sunraku because it's just like such an intense and almost relied upon point of humor in the series.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that is like probably the biggest joke in the series is that Sunraku doesn't know that Saiger Zero is a girl and not just a girl, but like a girl that he knows in his life that also has a crush on him.
yeah,
Like yeah, like it's almost like that's a end of series kind of reveal almost.
right. Yeah, it definitely reminds me of just how you can feel a difference between like the Shonen and Weekly Shonen magazine and Weekly Shonen Jump because it's like something like that in Weekly Shonen Jump. I feel like people would definitely be fucking pitchforks and shit. Like, when are they gonna fucking do it?
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
tell them already what's going on. But like,
Right.
there's just a lot of like things that happen in Weekly Shonen magazine manga that I feel like just vibe different. Like, I don't know, some stuff wouldn't work in Weekly Shonen Jump that work in magazine, and I don't know. And I definitely can tell that I'm reading a different magazine when I'm reading like Shangri-La Frontier and Gachi and shit. Like it doesn't feel like I'm reading like a My Hero, even though they're all shonen and shit.
Right.
Yeah, but yep, good chapter, great stuff as usual.
Yes,
Shangri-La
sir.
Frontier, don't be missing. Um, I think I'm squeezed out. We just, these long, lengthy chapters. There's hella words. There's the stuff that we talked about. We got to chew on, but it's pretty quick to talk about. So I think
Yeah.
I'm squeezed out. You got anything else for this one, Knox?
I think I'm Gucci.
What about you, Trav? You got any words for this one?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, that's gonna do it. For Shangri-La Frontier, chapter 232, the Wolf Wars confirmed. Speaking with your fist wins the day. Now jumping into our final manga segment of the night, we got Big Gachi, Big Cooter, chapter 146, Have a Ball. And this is another short one, right? Yeah, we got another 14 pager, but this one had like 2 or 3 double page spreads. I guess it was like 15, 16 pages
Big
legally or whatever.
Cooter.
Yeah, Big Cooter, baby. But I just want to say, like, starting out, I like Rio, her, contemplating, trying to figure out how to deal with this situation. And, like, on this second page, the, like, kind of, like, cutesy drawing of her. I never thought that, like, I would ever see that for Rio because she's, like, she doesn't give me, like, the kind of vibes that she would ever, like, want to be cute. I mean, not to say she's ugly, but, she's kind of, a tough ass.
Yeah,
She,
she's kind of
fucking carries a,
tomboyish, like,
yeah.
yeah.
But like this like cute little picture, I was like, oh, okay, so this is kind of like how she sees herself in this like cartoony chibi version or whatever. I was like, that's interesting. I just
Yeah.
always thought she would just be, she would give niggas swirlies and flick her, spin her fucking gun around her finger or something.
Right.
Not like see herself like this, but yeah, it was cool.
I love the first page where it kind of shows her kind of like zoom out, like looking at the sphere, and thinking about how to kind of like cut through its defenses. And she has like, the shrunken, non-transformed version of her scissors, and she, from her perspective, is like putting the blades or the edges of the scissors like against the ball and like trying to see like what's happening when she tries to cut through them normally, and it's like, oh, okay, I can't get a grip on it. And it reminds me, just like this perspective in the art reminds me of like when you would see like an airplane flying in the distance and you like put your fingers up to it as if you're like guiding the airplane, like it's all like a matter of perspective or whatever. Like, or like when people go to that one monument or whatever, I think it's like the Lincoln Memorial, where it's just like a long, tall, like stone structure, and people like position themselves in photographs to make it look like their dick or something, like they're grabbing like, the oh no, you know what I'm talking about though, where like you use perspective to make it look like you're grabbing something like super far away. And she's
yeah, like
like,
the fucking Eiffel Tower and shit.
yeah, exactly. And she's definitely doing that like with her, de-transformed version of her scissors, kind of like trying to like wrap her mind around like what's going wrong in her attempt to cut through this ball. It also reminds me a lot of like Yubel in Frieren, where she was trying to like conceptualize like cutting through, certain magical defenses, and then it got to that one short long-haired mage trainer in the exam arc, where she was like leagues and levels above Yubel in experience and in position inside of the magic society or whatever, but she was scared of Yubel because Yubel has like a specifically like cutting style of like fighting style, where normally that wouldn't scare her because like obviously she knows that her hair is like a weakness, because that's where all of her power comes from. So she's like created, magical style like defenses, and she just has like a big enough mana pool and a big enough experience to where like slashing attacks might not normally work on here. But Yubel just has such a good way of conceptualizing the cutting through of anything that like she kind of equated her to like kind of like a psychopath, and because it all comes down to like, perception, kind of like undead unluck almost, to where like as soon as you can visualize that you can do a thing inside of the concept that your power exists in, then you kind of are able to do that thing regardless of, the defenses or the barriers that are kind of put up in place. So it feels a lot like that in this Gachiakuta chapter right now. It feels like undead unluck and Frieren in that way.
Yeah. There was definitely some genius in her strategy, figuring out how to deal with this ball situation, this dome. I definitely didn't see this coming. I don't know
Yeah.
what I thought. Like maybe get like I was thinking probably maybe like she would tell like fucking Zonka to run towards the ball so that like some of the balls that Gil were like directing after Zonka might like hit hit the dome and maybe cause a dent in it or something, give it some sort of impact that she can like latch onto or something. But no, she went big money on this one.
Yeah, so what? She like picked up the ball and threw it, or did she like try to use the scissors to cut through it, knowing they would slip off because you can't like catch a. You know how in where is that when she's talking about it? She says the shell is harder than I thought, especially with spherical objects. If there's not a notch or a nick somewhere, I can't get a grip with my scissors. So basically implying that this sphere is like a perfect, smooth, no imperfection sphere, so she can't get a good grip on it with the scissors. So if she were to put the scissors around it and try to close them to cut through it, the ball would just shoot out like it's too slippery almost, and it would shoot
Yeah.
out from the blades of the scissors. And is that what she tried to do? Is just like in order to push it towards what's old girl's name? Gil
Gil.
Marrow. Gil. Yeah. So she, as soon as she heard that explanation from Gil Marrow about how her ability works, she's like, "Oh, bet." So then she used the scissors to try to cut through the sphere, but the sphere slipped through the blades of the scissors and got shot towards Gil Marrow. And then, like right as Gil Marrow was readying her ability, it connected with the sphere and turned it into one of her breaking balls. And then,
So
yeah,
I think what's more likely is that the twins threw them.
oh
Oh,
yeah, the twins are still
well,
there.
well, she does say that she readies the pitch. She said,
uh,
Rio, yeah, Rio takes the mound and throws the pitch.
Oh, right, right, right. And plus, why wouldn't we see the twins at all in this chapter if
But
they had anything to do with it?
they
that's my
were
one issue.
they were on the first page. They were right in front of the ball.
They
Oh,
were
true.
there, but the fact that we don't see what exactly causes this ball to be there is the only issue I have with this chapter. Like
Yeah.
I would have
If it really
enjoyed like
was the
even a panel.
twins, yeah, if it really was the twins, they would show their involvement in the pitch, I want to say.
I
My-
I just feel like it doesn't make sense for the ball to be right there and Rio's above the ball if she had to, do something with her scissors to launch them.
What do you mean?
Like why is she up in the air too, like above the ball? Like I guess you're thinking
Yeah.
that the
Like
twins
how do
threw
you
both.
catch your own pitch basically?
Yeah, like maybe the twins threw Rio and the ball. My
Yeah.
first thought was that like
Okay.
she batted it with her scissors, but then like Knox was saying maybe she cut it and it slid. But then I was thinking maybe she like wedged her scissors under it like a seesaw and like jumped on the scissors. But that still doesn't explain how she got there at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
So
can.
I think it was the
She,
twins. They just didn't show it.
well, why wouldn't they show it if they were involved?
Well, they don't show it either way. Like they don't show. We have no
Right, but
way
we
of
have
knowing.
just from the writing and the composition of the art in the chapter, like we have more reason to believe that Rio put this ball in front of Gil than the twins.
So the Rio takes the mound and throws a pitch
Yeah.
contradicts her being right over the ball.
Not necessarily though, because she can shoot the ball towards Gil while also like she's like her maneuverability is like she's like kind of like acrobatic in her fighting style anyway. So if she were to use the scissors to like push the ball in front of Gil, like there's still time in between, her sending the ball that way and getting into a position over the ball, in front of the ball, right?
I just feel like the
Because like
way, but
we've
like
been
with how fast it happens, I don't know if I can see it.
yeah.
Like this needs to be like there should have been a panel just dedicated to showing like her going like oh like I'll do this or like whether it was her swinging her scissors at it or like
So what if it's a
going like
situation to where she uses the scissors to launch the ball, but it takes like a rainbow arch kind of like path? It doesn't necessarily have to be shot like a fastball directly at Gil, especially because there's kind of like a downward angle on the ball coming into, Gil's trajectory of her bat swing anyway. So like this could be something to where she like shoots it up and over with plenty of time to run into the other side of it with her speed or whatever. Like it doesn't
If
necessarily, yeah.
if that's the case, why would she be above the ball instead of going the fastest route, which would be just straight instead of up and over?
True. True.
yeah there just should have been something here to show like what really happened because like there's a lot of way like you could just like defy go the cartoon logic and it's like she's just fast But like,
Yeah, what if she just jumped? What if she caught the ball in the scissors the way that it's kind of shown in her little like chibi diagram, right? And then on page 2, and then tries to close the scissors, which shoots the ball out in like a rainbow arc kind of path, and she just jumps from that point over, like she jumps off the scissors because she be doing that. I was just watching episode 4 or whatever to like see her fighting style like in motion, and she be like jumping off of the scissors and shit and using like the momentum of the scissors like closing to create, you know, momentum and speed and shit. So like she could have used the scissors herself to propel herself in a certain way as well.
eh,
Yeah.
it
But
just feels weird.
either way we're missing drawings. I agree that
Yeah,
we're
there
missing
should have been
drawings.
something, whether it was like her throwing it, her like this thing could be light. Like maybe it doesn't weigh anything. Maybe if she could pick it up herself and throw it, it could be light. She could have cut it and it slid. She could have fucking seesawed it. She could have asked the twins, but something should have been shown, like whether it was yo fucking mech guy, throw this thing from me or
Yeah,
something.
right.
It just happens out of nowhere, and it seems like it's going fast. Like there's it appears that there's smoke behind the ball, so that tells me like
Right.
something launched this thing. Like it wasn't just it didn't slowly float down. You could even see other balls like bouncing off of it. Like
Yeah.
there were balls in motion towards Zonka that like get pushed out of the way by this fucking massive ball.
You want to know what I bet we get next chapter is like the missing perspective that we need in this chapter. Like it's kind of like almost like a recap of like what happens leading up to the end of this chapter, but from the perspective that we're missing in this one, if that makes sense. I
Oh,
don't know if I
it's a situation like, oh, how'd you figure it out? And then she's like, oh, so this is
Yeah.
what happened.
It kind of
Yeah.
goes back in time a little bit to like show how everything happened that we're saying that we're missing in this chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus Rudo wasn't where was Rudo? He wasn't in this chapter, but he was with the twins kind of like underneath their mech or whatever somewhat. So maybe they came to some sort of agreement. Like she hopped up, ran over there, was like, "Yo, fucking let's do this." And they formed a plan real quick. But I don't know, it's just everything just happened so fast that it seems like some things just aren't possible. Like 'cause
Right.
she's like overhearing this conversation, and like these guys seem like they might kind of be far away. Like they're not like 5 feet away. So it's like she hears Gil saying that like as long as I got energy, I could do anything. And she's like, that's great. It's like this is the type of shit I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, it works. Whatever did happen, it works. It's a good plan and solution in the end because they finally cut the ball. So
Yes, they did. I can't wait to see what that means next chapter. Because,
she's
like,
right.
now Mimo is entirely exposed. His entire plan hinged on the perfect defense of this sphere.
Yeah. Also, Rio stuff aside, I love how like Zonka always gets, he even though he got dunked on by fucking dude like three
Jabber.
times now, 2 or 3 times, yeah, Jabber, but like he always gets good showing. Like he in this case, like he's fighting this chick Gil, and she's like mad, and she's like he's one of those snooty elite kids that I don't study but still get a perfect score, and she's like talking about how the shit he's doing isn't average, like he is supernatural. He's cutting through her fucking high speed bullet balls, and it's like that
Yeah.
is just some shit a human should be able to do.
But she got
And
him all wrong. He's that's not his story. Like that's all like hard work and determination because he's not a
right,
genius. That's like a specific part of his character is that he's mediocre, but through perseverance and tenacity, he reached the level where outsiders see him as a genius.
yeah, he is strong, but like he ain't come from that.
Yeah, he got it out the mud, nigga. Like
Yeah.
for real, for real.
But like his people and his people here, so it's like, man, can't wait to see, because like the chick that he kind of lost to, his like homegirl, she's supposed to be here, and his brother is here, and like we don't know what his sister's on, but like she not here, but like Zonka gets good praise from people, and he's got good showings. He does cool stuff. He just got fucking turned inside out twice by Jabber, and it's like
Yeah.
he
He
gotta
gotta
get
get
his
that
run
get
back.
back. He needs to run that fade one more time. And when he wins the next time, it's gonna feel that much better because he lost twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
I bet he
especially
kills Jabber.
bro. Zonka probably has the worst like loss
Yeah.
like I've ever seen. Like the second one where it was like we thought he was fucking going, like he
Having
had
his
it.
shonen moment, yeah, and he was
Yeah,
just
bro.
hallucinating off Joker toxin, basically.
That was one of the worst like losses. Not saying it's bad writing, but like
Right.
people don't get it as bad as did that
Yeah.
time. Yo, like that was real bad for him.
He
Yeah,
was like, I'm winning. I'm doing the thing. Determination and perseverance and
yeah.
tenacity. And then it zooms out and Jabber's like laughing at his ass laying
Whole
next to him
time
on the
just
ground, like,
losing
you
his
might
shit.
you tripping balls, nigga. Holy shit.
Yeah, like bro, he still didn't even like fight. Like he didn't finish. I think Rio came and like shot him and that like stopped Jabber. But Jabber, he could have killed him right there. It's like instead he just laid there and was laughing at him. Yeah,
Like watching him tweak off the drugs, like, yo, bro,
yeah,
you look
That's
crazy
cool.
right now.
yeah. Like he was having fun with him. Yeah. So yeah, that fucking rematch for the third time. That's gonna be magic, bro. That's gonna be. Whew, yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a moment. That's gonna
Money.
be one. People talk about that shit for that's probably gonna be one of the fights that people talk about. Like I can see that being something huge on the internet. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but yeah, Rio, she's got that look, man. She's been having them looks in her eyes these last couple chapters, and
Yeah,
then when she cut
she's
the
nuts.
yeah she cut that ball, she said, bro said that this
Your
shit.
balls are next.
Oh no, he's like, my feelings in the string of love can't be surprises. She's like, well, shit, then I definitely cut through it because fucking love, when the love too strong, it's easy for cracks to get in. So I wonder if she's had her heart broken. Yeah, she got cheated on or something.
Yo.
Probably about to get some Rio backstory, or maybe it was like a family member, like someone, somebody, a family member or somebody who like took her in, probably abandoned her or like left her to die or something. So she's used to being let down in the love department.
Hell yeah.
We can only speculate at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, this was hard though. The solution and Zonka like fucking backing her up with the stick or whatever.
The
Like
way
fucking
he knew what to do, like, immediately, too. I mean, all she did was say, back me up from behind, but, like, that could mean a lot of shit, but he just immediately knew exactly which position to take and what she was going for, just because they understand each other's fighting styles that well.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
it's
that
good
kind
shit.
of, unspoken teamwork.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it works even better when it's written that way. Like the whole story supports the idea that these people have this link to where, a few words said and
Yeah.
they're into action.
Right, to the point where they can literally just, like, pantomime random, like, hand signals and know exactly and be able to convey, like, pretty complicated sentences through just, like, seemingly random body movements with each other. There was, like, a whole point that they kind of focused on in that inside of their conversation with, like, Engine and the rest of Akuta. Because
yeah,
it was, like, some other outside character, like, what the fuck are they doing over there? They're just having,
yeah. Like
like, a
none of
whole
these guys are
conversation.
regular.
Right. And I want to say, I could be wrong here, um, but this move that she uses on this ball is, I don't think we've seen it since her character was introduced in the beginning of the series. Because, and this may just be because I just watched episode 4 of the anime, where like Rio is like kind of like first shown using her abilities. But Gris is like grabbing, the trash beast and tossing him to her, and she like sets up her scissors in this same position where it's like shown in the diagram on page 2 of her, like in the chibi, explanation
Yeah,
drawing. Like that's the same move she uses on the ball at the end of this chapter. And I want to say the last time we saw her use this specific strategy or this specific move with her scissors was like in the very beginning of the series when her character was introduced. I don't think she uses this specific technique all that often in the story.
yeah.
Yeah.
She normally hasn't really had to do anything like this.
Right. So it's like a callback to like that, I want to say, specifically because this is the newest chapter and like
Yeah, it lines up with the
it
episode.
lines up with the episode type shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I do be wondering if like that be the cause of like sometimes when we get like less chapters or whatever. I mean less pages. It's like maybe they prepping to make sure that they can get that the perfect finale for the chapter to line up with. Goddamn hiccups, man, to line up with the episode. But
Yeah.
this is a banger one right here. Couldn't find a groove in that ball, so we turned it into a fucking object that just won't stop. Cut that bitch. It's good stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, Rio's
sir.
tough, man. So next week we see if she goes straight for Mima, or this week in a couple days, see if she goes straight for Buddy's heart. Just fucking scissor him in the face.
Nah, she's gonna be on that side of it, getting ready to stab the barrier dude, and Rudo's gonna be on the other side, getting ready to punch Mimo in the face.
Yeah, Mimo about to catch this work, bro.
I feel like he's not done yet though, because I think he's still going to figure out how to do something with Amo. I'm just not sure what yet.
There's got to be at least one more thing that he can do. Like getting the ball sliced through can't be the absolute end. He's got to have one more, at least one more trick up his sleeve before being outright defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, like, this isn't the end of the arc either, because there's still so much other stuff that's got to happen. Like, there's other
Right.
characters that are here that haven't been
Tamsy's
involved in
cooking
the
up
fight.
something. We know
Yeah.
Tamsy's got something going on while the Doll Festival is happening. Zonka's old faction or whatever, was it the Hell Guard?
Yeah.
They also, or wait, no, they were after Mimo, weren't they?
I think they did, come after Mimo.
Okay.
I have to go back and look.
There's
but,
just
like,
a couple more moving parts that let us know that, like, after this conflict, there's a lot more arc happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, we still haven't really figured out, like, what the whole deal is with the choker maker or whatever, because the choker maker asked Rudo to stop Mimo. So it's
Yeah.
like, once they stop Mimo, what's next? But, like,
Right.
don't think that, like, even if they beat Mimo in the next, like, 3 chapters, I don't think the Doll Festival is going to end for even still another, like, 10 chapters at least.
Yeah.
There's still stuff to do here. But banger chapter. I think I'm squeezed out for this one. You got anything else for this one, Trav?
Nah, I'm good.
What about you, Knox?
I'm Gucci.
All right, that's going to do it for Big Gachi, Big Cooter, chapter 142. Have a ball. As usual, before we wrap up out of here, baby, we got to do our chapter of the week and read some of them comments from last week's. So I guess I'll start off this week. My favorite chapter, we only have 4 things to review. So slim pickings on what we can choose from. I think I'm going to go ahead and say Centuria is probably my favorite this week. It did some cool stuff. We got some cool art, and it gave me a lot to look forward to. So I'm going to go with that for now. I don't think I'm going to change my vote. I'm going to stand on business. What about you, Knox?
Oh yeah, Centuria. It's definitely between Centuria and Gachiakuta for me. I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards Gachi, just because I'm like a sucker for like implementing like creative strategy in conflicts, and Centuria is not short of that either. But like this one felt a little bit more like it was kind of centered around the lore that we kind of get around the witches and the building up of Atlas or Altus's character, and like kind of like the cliffhanger towards the end that makes it feel like Arcos is kind of like communicating with him from beyond the grave. Like all of that shit is like major, but like when it comes to Gachiakuta, I can just see the gears turning in Rio's mind on like how to conceptualize the strategy necessary to cut through the ball, and then her actualizing that. And I'm just like such a big sucker for that in these Battle Shonen series, especially with the teamwork with Zonka and everything. Like it hit me in the chest to a greater degree than the Centuria chapter did.
For sure. What about you, Trapper?
Gotta go with Centuria as well. I really appreciated the lore because in this one chapter, it really made the world feel much bigger than it has previously.
Yes.
And gave us some power scaling, gave us development with Altus to the point where we're kind of hoping he makes it through this. So I don't know. I just gotta go with Centuria.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's good votes all around. I don't think either of those were bad. I do think now that y'all mentioned it again, Altus. I think I'm gonna subtract a point from Centuria for the name being Altus and not Atlas. But I'll still keep my vote for that. But yeah, Gachi was big Gachi stuff, man, and fucking Centuria was great. So that's chapter of the week, baby. Now I want to just highlight a couple comments from last week. Talk about it for a second, quick little minute or whatever. But yeah, man, you guys showed out. It's a bunch of comments in that last episode, so it's actually kind of tough to find some. But I guess I found a couple. So from Light King or Light Knight 666, Yoru correcting herself when saying thank you was just her switching from Japanese to English. She said it in English. So thank you for that comment, because I was like thinking that she went from like addressing America as like a country to like considering America like a person when she was like, thanks, America. No, thank you, America. So like I like that. I didn't even think about like, that's why I like author notes or comment translator notes, because they used to do stuff like that, like put an asterisk next to it and be like, yeah, she's speaking in English right here. You guys any thoughts?
No, that's a good
So
clarification. I think that was super necessary to
I
kind of clear up.
thought I thought everybody knew that. I kind of figured
What?
that's what it meant by that.
Okay, so you one of them.
Sounds
I got
good now that we know, Traffy.
I didn't know you didn't know.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Let's see. From dubious underscore egg 9267. By the way, Ass Troll Royale had its epilogue chapter released and scans later. Just gonna leave this
We do not
negative
care.
information.
We do
Yeah.
not give a flying fuck about that. Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
He said, just gonna leave this negative info here in case you boys want to finish what you started. Lamau. So yeah, no, not opening that one back
We've
up. Thanks
moved
though.
on to bigger and better
Yeah.
things. Even
Yeah.
though Odor of the Flame is also probably out of here, but we will be moving on to bigger and better things after that. Even I personally, I think we're thinking about Kaitagami, right?
Yeah, probably Katagami. A lot of people have been hyping up Shinobi Undercover. Actually, like people have been saying it's real good, and I'm gonna check it back out.
Yeah, I
I
might have
don't
to
know
spin
if
the block on that one too.
yeah, they've been saying it's really good. Like they said it was like not the best starting out, but the last like arc and like the couple chapters that have been coming out recently have been really good. So I'm interested. That and like I'm still interested in New Age Exorcist, but people it's been getting some mixed reviews from people, but it's at like 100 chapters, so like who knows. Let's see. Find like one more. Uh, okay, here we go. From Magnus underscore artifacts. Shout out to dude. Wild thought on Centuria. It ain't happening probably, but hear me out. Elstree loses, but the other witches snatch her, and then Diana is forced to kill the king. Everyone in the kingdom loves the guy. I mean, he's genuinely a good dude. Now, no king. The country knows Diana killed the king, though they don't know that it was unwillingly. What? Though they don't know that it was unwilling. And it also means that other nations can get advantage of this internal ruckus. Just imagine the absolute chaos that the world would be in, and how Julian has to balance his morals and goal of making Diana and Titi happy with the world, with the despair of survival. Again, it ain't happening. Also caught up with Gachi. Excited to hear.
Yeah, no, that ain't it. It's not going. You know what I'm saying? It's not going. It ain't gonna work. But thank you, Magnus. Good to see you again. That's Magnus from the Discord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
What
out
up?
to
What up,
dude.
player? But yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. You know, we obviously have no way of knowing, but I remember me and Magnus used to go back and forth on some Black Clover shit, so I had to give him some shit.
Now he gonna comment about that in the next one.
Oh my god, bro! I'm blocking you somehow if you start talking about Black Clover in the comment section.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still just not sure how I feel about the whole King plot thing, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. And did I want to speak on any other comments? Stupid doopy doo. Oh, here we go. From Makamoo12. Most people that are anti-localization can't even speak, read, understand Japanese, so their opinions on the matter are genuinely irrelevant. So you're talking about the Itchy the Witch thing, because people were still yapping about that shit for fucking days after when speaker was like, okay, wood or whatever, and we had that conversation. So yeah, man, fuck those people.
Yeah,
they're lame, especially if their name starts with a C, little bitches. But yeah, man. Yeah, get that shit out of here, bro. put some hair on your chest.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't want to start going off into fucking nowhereville. So I think that's gonna do it, baby girls. Thank you all for watching. This was Shonen Pulse, episode 33. We talked about some manga over here, as usual. You know, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop kick our comment section. Let us know your thoughts, comments, concerns. We read your comments, as you can see in the last 2 minutes. We do all that cool stuff. Keep an eye on the Twitter and all that stuff. Keep an eye on us on YouTube. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, man. So please help us out. You know, if you're listening to this segment, you like walked away and you just came back from watching this and you hear that I'm still talking, this is for you, man. Hit the subscribe button because we're at 952 currently. Help us get to that thowie so we can get monetized and all that good stuff, and we can put this thing on Apple Music or whatever, Spotify. If you want to listen to us on Spotify and stuff, help us out, man. Stop playing. Hit that button. Hit the damn button.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, this has been your boys. Like I said, it's Big Us, baby. We out of here.
Peace.